Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog and welcome back to Hyperboost. And boys, how good does she look? Huh? What? Man, that car looks so good. The wheels just freaking perfect. The whole silhouette and the shape of this car. Wow. And my other baby, Big Ton, the big brother. Look at this thing. This thing's a monster. I love these Toyota trucks. All right, so today's video is a little bit different because I usually don't do these types of videos, but somebody kind of commented and put this in my head, and I thought, yeah, that would be a cool idea. So the idea of this video is basically because I see a lot of cars out there, these mods, that when not paired with any other mod, just looks utterly ridiculous. So today we're gonna talk about mods that you should be doing with other mods to just make it look right, because if one is done without the other, it just won't work. All right, so let's talk about this. So let's talk about this. So let's do mod number one. One mod that you should not be doing without the other mod is definitely putting aftermarket wheels on your car without adjusting the suspension. So again, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, and this is not just a kind of like a video to rag on everybody else, but this is just a video of my own pet peeves when it comes to modding cars. I've been around cars for a long time. If I see someone with aftermarket wheels, especially if they change the diameter of this tire to where they make smaller profiles on these tires. So let's say you start out with a 40 and you go down to a 35 or even a 30 series tire, it's just gonna look ridiculous because the wheel gap, right? You have to adjust the wheel gap. You have to take the wheel gap to a point where it looks like it rolled out of the factory that way. And it honestly doesn't have to be anything serious. It could be springs. These have springs. I didn't put any coilovers yet, but yeah, these are springs just to improve the profile of the car after I put aftermarket wheels on them, because it changes. For me, I did change the offset to where the tires stick out just a little bit more. Very little poke, if any poke at all. It would look ridiculous because I'm gonna look like I'm off-roading. I definitely highly recommend that if you're going to put aftermarket wheels on a car, might as well spend the money on the springs and lower the car. All right, number two, trucks. This is my biggest pet peeve when it comes to trucks. Putting fender flares on with your stock wheel offset. So basically, you guys have seen this, right? You guys have seen this before. You've seen these trucks rolling around where they have these black fender flares, because you know when you order these, they do not come painted unless you buy them painted, which is gonna cost you a lot more. But they usually come in black. These are just plastic. They come in black, matted, okay, basically matte black plastic with no coating on them whatsoever. And then people just get crazy, slap them on their stock trucks with their stock wheels that are basically offset inside this fender flare. So when you look at it from the front, okay, it is not flushed or even sticking out just a bit. No poke. It literally is way inside. Dude, you know what that looks like? It looks like your truck missed leg day. It really does look like it didn't work out its legs. So, I mean, that profile I think is awesome. If you're going to put fender flares on your truck, especially aftermarket ones, make sure you adjust the offset of your wheel, even though just to put some spacers on it to make it look like it's just sticking out a little bit more. Now, mind you, fender flares on a truck will make the tires look really small, no matter like how big it is. And if it's inside that fender flare line, it's gonna make your tire look really small. So fair warning. Yeah, so not necessary, but like if you're gonna put fender flares or even aftermarket wheels and tires on your truck, put a leveling kit on it. That's another thing, right? Those are kind of like the three musts on a truck, because when trucks are bought brand new, the trucks are usually kind of facing down, or they have this kind of like angular rake on the truck where the front is lower than the back. Why do they do that? because they know that if you're going to put something in the back, it's going to level out. Or when you are rolling, it's going to level out. So the idea with putting a leveling kit on is when the truck is parked or rolling slow, it is going to be nice and even when it sits. Now, this truck has two different suspension settings on this. So basically, I put a leveling kit on that side and I put a lift kit on that side. So this is just to basically lift the front end just enough to even out the rake. And in the back, I put a 1-inch lift on it. So when it's standing, but it's raised, it's got a very, very slight rake on it. So when I drive it, it evens out. So I think those are the mods that really are a must if you're going to modify your truck. The rest is just basically aesthetics, especially the bumpers and the racks and all that stuff. All right, on to the next one. Mod number 3 that you should be doing with something else. And this is courtesy of my buddy Shane, who I work with. And when I was talking to him about this topic, he said, what about putting an air intake and an exhaust system without tuning the car? That's a big one, you guys. So if you're going to put an air intake, high flow intake, and a high flow exhaust or straight piping the vehicle, you should always tune the car. Even just a basic tune to switch up how much air the car is pulling in and how much air the car is pushing out, because it's going to change your air fuel ratio. It's going to change all that stuff, even just minutely. The cars are smart nowadays. They are optimized for stock performance. So if you change the stock performance, you're going to have problems. So either that you run rich or you run lean. Just a basic tune. You don't have to dyno it. Just have somebody tune it for you to where you can maximize the money and the mods that you put in the car by adjusting the tune. If you have an air intake, an aftermarket high flow air intake, or straight pipe, especially straight pipe exhaust. Now, one of the prime examples of this is Edwin Berrios from the Fitment Factory, good friend of mine, brother from another mother. But Edwin was telling me, because I asked him, hey, what if we just straight pipe this thing? We just kind of build pipes that would kind of resemble the offset stacked tailpipes of this car. And he said, we can definitely do it. But I'm warning you, you will lose mid-range power, because that's what happened to his Genesis. His Genesis is a V8 and it lost mid-range power. And he said it struggles at mid-range power. And I don't want that, because this car is absolutely perfect the way it is right now with the Apex C non-resonated mid-pipe. But yeah, right now, the car is perfect. Step on the gas, the car goes. All right, on to the next. If you do decide to wrap your car. Now, I know a lot of people that have done this, but they wrap their car and they do not put a layer of PPF on it. Okay, so that is a must. If you ask any guy out there that wraps their car or any wrap shop, okay, they will wrap your car, okay, but make sure that you at least put some sort of PPF on top of the wrap. Why? Because those wraps are not thick enough to be able to prevent a rock shot. Now, when you're just rolling down the road and you're thinking you're already well protected, a rock flies up, hits you in the hood, scrapes the freaking wrap, and now you have a bad problem, because now your wrap is damaged. You probably will damage the paint. Now you got to do that all over again. But if you PPF the top of your wrap, always PPF that, because now you're going to have a well-protected wrap and you're going to have a well-protected car. The PPF basically is going to protect your investment, especially if you park your car like outside. It will protect from the elements and all that stuff. So this car, since I don't drive it a lot, it just literally stays in town. I have not PPF'd this car at all, and I haven't really had any issues with it. I know it's only a matter of time till I get it, and I've done it before in the Evo, but I don't think I drive it enough to even get there. So now, if I were going to do something with this car, it would be to PPF the glass, to PPF the windshield, and maybe the front clip, and that's it. But the windshield is more important, because I have felt a couple little pebbles kind of hit the windshield of that car, and it scares the living daylights out of me that one day a rock big enough, traveling fast enough, is going to punch a hole right through that windshield. And good Lord, that, oh my God, that just, no. All right, last but not least of the topic today, aero. One thing, guys, that you should know, and I'm pretty sure most of you will agree, if you're going to put big wings on cars, make sure that car is representing what that big wing is all about. downforce and stability, right? So you're getting a good kind of like Bernoulli effect on the wing, and obviously a big wing in the back should always have a diffuser on the bottom, right? If you're gonna put a big wing up there and you're gonna use that big wing for something like a high-speed run, make sure you have a diffuser on the bottom. So those big wings are going to be useless without the diffuser on the bottom. Talk to any aerodynamic guy. Now, mind you, if you're gonna use it as a drift car, I don't know, maybe. But if you're gonna use it for top speed runs, you see all these guys, look at it. All those guys from Japan, all those guys from Europe who have big wings on their cars always have diffusers on the bottom. Why? Because it's to break up the air at the top and the bottom of the car. So if you're gonna do that, make sure that you represent both. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, this car is not meant to have that much downforce. It is a street car. It is a luxury executive sedan. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to carry you in luxury and maybe a little bit of style. So what do? I put a window wing on here that literally matches the carbon fiber weave of this rear lip wing right here. Does it help with downforce? Nope, probably not. I mean, how small that thing is. I don't know. Maybe it helps break up the air. Maybe that's actually, it probably will work as kind of like a diffuser up here. I don't know. I have not gone that fast on this car, but it sure looks pretty good. Another thing, I matched the carbon fiber to this weave of carbon fiber because all three were made by the same company. Like for example, in the Evo, my Evo had a carbon fiber hood and a carbon fiber trunk, both made by Saibon. Okay, but I had carbon fiber inside the car that was basically faux carbon. It came stock. You know, that trim in front of the dashboard or right on the dashboard, it's faux. It's basically hydro dip carbon. It's really not carbon. So it didn't match the car. I left it on there because I left it on there. I didn't want to put a sticker inside that is basically carbon fiber sticker. I didn't want to do that because it's going to look like it's raised. It doesn't look like it's right. It doesn't look stock. Unless I'm going to replace that trim with carbon fiber, then yes. So I guess that's the fifth one. It is basically just, if you're going to put aero on the car, make sure it matches and it's representing what you're supposed to put on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video, and please do not think that I'm ragging on people. It is not that. YouTube is entertainment. This is all this is. Just entertainment and discussion. We can talk about this. Comment below on what is your pet peeve when it comes to modding cars, or people that you see that mod their cars and you would think to yourself, I wouldn't have done that with this mod. My goal is not to, get anyone mad. It's just, for me, it's just entertainment. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully we are still being entertained by my dumb videos on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. Click that notification bell just so you know when I upload next. I know it's been kind of erratic, but you guys know what's going on with life, and I got kids and all that stuff. So, and YouTube is just a fun thing for me. So anyway, hopefully we'll see you guys on the next video. I love you all, and thank you for all the support. Peace out.